Hey guys and girls, here's your Hajime there again, and I welcome you back to Detective Conan and Kindaichi Case Files, chance account of two great detectives. Let's go. In chat. The tragedy 25 years ago. The murdered Mayor Mitsui. Alright, let's check it out. Before Ran and Uncle catch on, I should slip away quietly. Well then, to find out what happened to the mayor 25 years ago, I need to get to that mansion. Mayor's residence. So, this is Mayor Hiyuki's mansion. Isn't it huge? The atmosphere is like the European mansions in movies. So, shall I go in? I have no reason to go back now. I have to check what happened here 25 years ago. Okay, investigate. What an incredible gate. This alone is enough to awe people. Okay. This is the doorbell. Wait, could try pushing it. Okay. Nope, no answer. No one's in. Huh? This gate, it's already open. Let's get in and call out to see if anyone's around. Enter residence. So, this is the courtyard. The bed of flowers is being minded well. It's quite nice. Excuse me. No one. Is anyone really living in this mansion? Maybe it's a vacant house. Maybe. I've got no idea about such houses, such mansions. Probably a vacant house, but I don't know. I really got no idea about that. It might be. I finally got an insight. I won't go back before getting some new information. Okay, investigate. Let's go. Is this a shed? Something like a shed has been built in the courtyard. It seems the door's open here too. Let's see if there's anyone here. Move. Enter annex. It's quite clean for a warehouse. There are a lot of old books here. I may find some documents that weren't in the Folk Museum. Something about this place from when it was a colliery island. It seems I've come across a place I didn't even intend to find. Let's have a look to help solve the case. A lot of old books are lined up. If I check all of these, I won't finish before morning. Right. Nothing is on the bookshelf in the back. A single look is enough to know it holds no clues. True. A lot of old books are lined up. Should I look in them for some sort of hint? It would take a lot of time. But I have no choice. Okay, let's look at every book. Huh? There's only one book without binding. This is... There are pieces of old newspapers pasted in it. Is it a scrapbook? And the articles chosen are all related to Twilight Island. All articles from local newspapers and all very old. But there might be a clue. Let's look back more carefully. The beauty of Twilight Island, reborn as a tourist attraction. What's on your mind? A soothing Twilight vacation. The last paradise in Japan, the great Twilight Island. Damn, they are all articles from after the tourism boom. But that was expected. Before it became a sightseeing spot, nobody would have cared much. It was just a colliery island. But I'm looking for information about a different period. Are there none remaining? No older articles? One that could offer clues about the tragedy 25 years ago? Huh? This one. This one seems extremely old. Gold found on Colliery Institution, Twilight Island. This is an article about the gold found on Twilight Island. But the headline isn't what's important. It's the content of the article that follows. Succeeding Mayor Mitsui and his wife, who died at their home recently. The new mayor is Hiyuki Ryuichi. He was put in charge of turning Twilight Island into a resort. The Mitsui couple that died at their home? So, not only did the mayor die 25 years ago, but his wife too? I should tell him as soon as possible. This is the only clue in the scrapbook. No, wait, there's this one too. The Light and Dark Twin Islands, Glory and Gore. Twin Islands? What's this about? It seems I have to carefully read this article. A small island unknown to most rocketed to fame recently. After gold was discovered there, its name, Twilight Island, an island in the waters southwest of Kyushu. Concurrently on an island dubbed its twin. A shocking incident occurred in which its residents vanished. As a result, the island has started to perish. Reporters noted the irony behind the gold's discovery and the vanishing, as well as them occurring at similar times. The other resembles Twilight enough to be called its twin. Mining has sustained them, with similar structure to both. A single company was responsible for managing the two mines. And it's tragic that one island sees the fortune and the other has perished. Twilight Island now shines while its twin in it is in shadow. This other island, the Twin Island, is known as... Damn, it was torn off right at the most important part. But if what's written here is true, this could be Kindaichi's Island. Could be. This guy taking so long. What the hell's he doing? Oh, speak of the devil, it's finally him. It was a surprise that we changed to Conan so quickly. Howdy, Kindaichi here. Sorry for the wait. If he's calling, it's because he's gotten some results. Alright, let's ask him what those results are. About his progress. You took a long time. What do you manage to do? I snuck into the mayor's house on Twilight Island. Mayor Hiyuki's house. Mayor Hiyuki, no matter how much I hear that, it's still weird. Well, let's hear him out. About what happened in the mayor's house 25 years ago. And what did you find there? What happened in Mayor Mitsui's house 25 years ago? I found an old newspaper article in the storeroom. It was written there that Mayor Mitsui died 25 years ago. But that's not all. Not only did Mayor Mitsui die, so did his wife. Mayor Mitsui's wife? But I don't know if it was a murder or natural death. I'll look into it more on my side too. Still, it's true that the Mitsui couple died 25 years ago. The case you're involved in now is probably another reproduction of the tragedy. There's no doubt. Yeah, it seems so. Testimony keyword has been updated. Tragedy 25 years ago. And there's something else I have to tell you. What is it? I came across some vital information, a surprising truth. Don't use dramatic pauses like that. What's this vital information? It was written in another old article. It seems there was a twin referred to as the other island. Twin islands? Another island? There were a lot of reasons to explaining why they are twins. The layout is the same, and it's a Colliery Island too. Furthermore, almost all of the architecture seems to be shared. It's exactly like that island and Twilight Island are twin islands. However, all of the residents disappeared en masse, and thus that island perished. Both are Colliery Islands with similar layouts and buildings, and a perishing island? Could it be? Yeah, all the descriptions match perfectly with the island that you're on. The Twin Island, the other island, what's its name? Unfortunately, that part of the article was torn off. Someone may have torn it on purpose with some bad motive. A Twin Island. Is that the nature of the island I'm on? Testimony keyword has been updated. Another Twilight Island. It seems we're getting closer to the truth. Yeah, but there are still things we don't understand. The reason that tragedy is being reproduced here. And also the biggest mystery of all. Who the mastermind is that planned all these murders. As well as the goal. The culprit's goal. We'll just have to ask them directly. The case in this mansion, I'll catch the culprit for sure. Yeah, it's out of my hands now. I'll leave this one to you. Counting on you, Kindaichi. Don't worry, you can trust me. Good. I'll investigate a little more on my side. I'll call again if I find anything more about the mayor's case. Yeah, thanks. See you around. Great. It's exactly as he said. We're getting closer and closer. We're close to getting that truth from the culprit's mouth. But first, we have to solve the case in this mansion. Hey! Hey, Kindaichi! Just then, were you talking with someone or were you communicating with the ghost? What's with you today, uncle? For now. Let's check the scene again. Help me. Okay, I can do it. But what is it all of a sudden? According to that guy, the victim is not Mayor Hiyuki, but a VIP from Twilight Island, Mitsukawa Tsukekichi. Uncle, the sealed room murder. We've got a chance to solve it. Maybe, but I still have no idea what happened. Investigate. So now let's examine the crime scene. Yeah, whatever. There's a reason the bookshelf was knocked over in the middle of the room. A mark has been left on the floor. This is proof something was placed here. Why are these books scattered and who did it? It will all become clear soon enough. This person isn't Mayor Mitsui, but Mitsukawa Tsukekichi. I can't understand why he acted strangely back then. What do you mean? What strange behavior? It's the fact that the victim didn't unlock the door. When the crime happened, this door was locked. Why was the victim so adverse to opening the door? You will understand if you put yourself in his shoes. The riot we can see from this window, knocking on the door. Exactly if we think like this, we can understand why he moved the bookshelf too. The victim moved the bookshelf? Why? For what reason? That downed bookshelf over there. It fell after having been moved from its original position. The two keywords proving the bookshelf has been moved are what are the two keywords proving the bookshelf has been moved? Mark on floor. And scattered books. Move bookshelf. After removing the books from the shelves, the victim could move the bookshelf himself now that it was light enough. Uncle, look at the mark on the floor. There's something unusual about it, right? That's probably the mark left by the bookshelf, so... The fallen bookshelf was previously placed there, and the pile of scattered books on the floor is the result of the bookshelf having been moved. The scattered books are the result of the move? A bookshelf with so many books is too heavy to be moved by one man. That's why the victim started by removing books from the shelves, and then moved the bookshelf when it was light enough. I see. But why do you think it was the victim who moved the bookshelf? Besides, why did he even do it in the first place? The answer is... Now it's the clues coming to the light. Linked to the fact that he didn't just unlock the door. The reason the victim didn't unlock the door is... he was fleeing. The victim was surely desperate, as he desperately wanted to flee. To flee? What do you mean? If he wanted to flee, he would have just unlocked the door. Yes, that's what one would normally do, but I've just gotten a call from my pal on Twilight Island. He told me that the victim there is not Mayor Mitsui. Not Mayor Mitsui. Then who could this guy be? I tell you, the real identity of the victim is... The victim on the floor there is someone who mysteriously disappeared from Twilight Island. A VIP from Twilight Island. Someone named Mitsukawa Tsukikichi. Mitsukawa Tsukikichi. A VIP? But wait, you still haven't answered my question. What's with the victim trying to run away? If he really wanted to flee, he would have unlocked the door, right? All he had to do was just turn the lock. While the victim who tried to run away didn't unlock the door, you'll understand by putting yourself in his shoes. In the victim's shoes. Think hard. If the victim was not Mayor Mitsui, the servants in this mansion were not acquainted with the victim, right? That tells us everything, meaning this murder case relies on a psychological trick to manipulate the victim into action. I still don't understand. I mean, who the hell did it? The culprit is probably... Oh. Wah! It's back. The cry of the ghost. Uncle, we're gonna have to have a talk about that. The question mark icon on menu has changed to detective badge. Great. Kindaichi speaking? It's me. Sorry for calling so much. What is it? You get something? Yeah, I kept looking through Mayor Hiyuki's house, and I found something very interesting. By the way, where are you now? I'm still intruding my way into the mayor's house. As you can imagine, I don't have much time to lose. Let's get back to business. Yeah, sounds good. So, what is it, this really interesting finding? The tragedy 25 years ago, where VIPs were dying. I got detailed information on one of those cases. It's the Mitsui couples, the one repeating there right now. Really? Yeah, there was a tiny clue in an article clipping. It's just what was written there, but it really seems both of them were murdered. Both of them? That means another crime is set to occur here? as part of the reproduction of the tragedy 25 years ago? Someone will be killed as Mitsui Kazuko-san. But it was a tough case. The culprit wasn't found 25 years ago, leaving the mystery unsolved. That doesn't matter. That old unsolved case. I will solve it now, 25 years later. You're quite confident, but I have faith in you. Say, don't you have more information about the wife, Kazuko-san? Sorry, nothing. But this case is reproducing the tragedy 25 years ago. Why don't you ask someone who knows about the tragedy? There are such people on your island, no? Someone who knows. Someone who knows about the tragedy 25 years ago. Someone who was involved in it. Yes, there's someone. I'll ask about it. Second case. The second incident that occurred in the mayor's mansion 25 years ago. It seems the mayor's wife, Mitsui Kazuko, was killed. Oh, I forgot. There's one important thing I forgot to ask about. Have you seen some kids calling themselves detective boys there? As I thought, they're acquaintances of yours. Then they are on your island. Are they safe? Yeah, they're safe. No worries. If I tell them they were captured, he'd worry too much. I should just say they're safe for now. Great, I feel better now. Kindaichi, sorry about this, but keep an eye on them for me. No problem, leave it to me. Right, I have to solve this case for their sake too. That'll give me the chance to go save them. Okay, I'll be hanging up soon. Good luck on your end. Hey, I look forward to us meeting in person. Somebody about my age and already a detective. I'm really excited to see his face. Well, I'm going now. See you. Yep, see you around. Oh my goodness. Kindaichi, you don't want that. You don't want that. Phew, so now. Was that your usual call, buddy? It's great you can still contact him. It's thanks to the victim here, who was carrying the badge. So now, what will we do? We're going to go talk to someone who knows about about 25 years ago. That person is Tsushida Fumiko. Exactly, it's Tsushida Fumiko-san. According to what he said, the VIPs are related to the tragedy. In other words, she is connected to it too. She must be linked to the Mitsui couple 25 years ago. She should be sleeping in the first floor guest room. Yeah, I feel bad disturbing her sleep, but it's an emergency. Okay, let's move. Tsushida Fumiko-san is in this guest room. Shall we start by knocking? Yeah. Okay. Okay. No answer. No answer. If I recall, this is the guest room in progress. Yeah, it's natural, nobody would be in there. Well, who's there? Who is there? Oh, it's me, Kenmochi, the police officer. Oh, the officer. Very sorry to disturb you during your sleep, but can we talk? Fine, let me open the door. speaking in the hallway is not sophisticated. Please come in. We'll come right in. Hey, Kindaichi. Excuse us. Sorry to disturb you during your sleep. I was not sleeping. I cannot sleep under such circumstances. So, what do you want? What do you want to talk about? Alrighty, let's start the interview. Forgive me being blunt, but do you know about the tragedy 25 years ago? I don't know. Never heard of it. Don't try to pretend. We have evidence. We're giving you a chance here. Tsushida-san, have you ever heard the phrase Twin Islands? Twin Islands? She sunk into silence. Let's change this question. As I thought, you can't tell us everything yet. It can't be helped, but at least please tell us about the case of Maya Mitsui's wife, Mitsui Kasuko-san. I heard the case went unsolved 25 years ago. I want to know what kind of case it was. I'm not asking you for the culprit or the trick. Just what happened. Please tell me that much. Hey Kindaichi, are you sure? Just that? Yes, it's fine. If I can at least learn about this case. I'll just have to expose the truth later. If you're so confident, I'll leave it to you. Fumiko-san, please tell me. Tell me about Mitsui Kasuko-san's case. But... Fumiko-san, what if your life depended on it? If my life depended on it? It's that? A threat? Of course not, but it's true. Please trust me. Fine, I guess I can tell you. So, can you tell us about the Mitsui Kasuko case? Fine, I'll tell you. It all started when the Mitsui couple suddenly disappeared. After a desperate search, we found Maya Mitsui's body, and the Mitsui Kasuko case was exposed the next day. We first found a lot of suspicious with the guest room in progress. A knife had fallen to the floor. And also in the room was Mitsui Kasuko's necklace. Furthermore, on the newspaper on the floor were some bloodstains that looked like her blood. It was discovered by the renovators. Feeling something was wrong, those in the mansion rushed to find her. And then she was found. In the storage room near the main hall, in the trunk there was a body. The police started investigating. From the fact her body was in the trunk, they concluded she was killed elsewhere and then taken there. The police suspected it would be it being the guest room being renovated. The knife had the bloodstains on the floor and the necklace too. They all told us something happened there. The police thought that the necklace fell to the floor as the victim was fighting with the culprit. To summarize, the victim Mitsui Kasuko-san was killed in that guest room and later taken to the storage room. By hiding the body there, the culprit delayed its discovery. People don't usually visit such storage rooms, so it was the most suitable place to hide her body. But that fact pushed the police investigation to a dead end. It seems to get from the guest room to the storage, you must pass through the grand hall and the entrance hall. But it seems a lot of people were in the grand hall at the time. Among them were police officers investigating the mayor's murder. Further, no one saw anyone carrying such a trunk. Didn't they just miss it? It can't be. A trunk case of that size is too peculiar to miss. Then the culprit took another route? No, there was no other way to go. Not without passing through the Grand Hall. So, how did the culprit manage to get the trunk all the way there without being seen? Did they use a trick? I don't get it. The police had the same reaction back then. So, nobody at all passed through the Grand Hall? Only people without any sort of trunks were seen there. People were naturally coming and going. Putting aside the trunk, people were still coming and going. So, Kindaichi, have you solved that mysterious case? When you've solved that mystery, speak to me. If you still have things to ask here, do that first. Yeah, got it. The case happened in Meiya Mitsui's mansion. First in the guest room under renovation, they found Mitsui Kazuko's necklace and a knife. Also the newspapers on the floor was stained with blood that appeared to be hers. The body was discovered by the renovators. Feeling something was wrong, everyone in the rushed to find her. In the storage room near the main hall was a trunk. Inside was a body. The police started investigating. From the fact that her body was in the trunk, the police deduced she was killed elsewhere before being moved. That led the police to the guest room being now renovated. The knife, bloodstains and the necklace on the floor. They all told us something happened there. The police thought that the necklace fell to the floor as the victim was fighting with the culprit. To summarize, the victim Mitsui Kazuko-san was killed in that guest room and later taken to the storage room. By hiding the body there, the culprit delayed its discovery. People don't usually visit such storage rooms. It's the most suitable place to hide a body. But this fact steered the police to a dead end. It seems to get from the guest room to the storage, you absolutely have to go through the Grand Hall. But it seems a lot of people were in the Grand Hall at the time. Among them were officers investigating the mayor's murder. Further, no one saw anyone carrying such a trunk. Didn't they just miss it? It can't be. A trunk case of that size is too peculiar to miss. Then the culprit took another route? No, there was no other way to go. Not without passing through the Grand Hall. No matter how much I hear the story, it's still strange. How did the culprit carry the trunk there? Uncle, what do you think? About how the trunk was somehow moved through the Grand Hall? No idea. I'll leave it to you, Kindaichi. All that thinking is and that's the result. So, Kindaichi, have you solved the mystery? Yeah, if we can confirm something about the scene. I'll have the truth behind this mystery. Let's start with the guest room under renovation. Fumiko-san, where were the bloodstains on the floor? Newspaper pages had been put down all over the room. The blood was near the left wall in the middle. But no blood was actually on the wall itself, as if the bloodstains were interrupted by the wall. I see, I need to think about this carefully. Kindaichi, warn me before you start jumping around. I can't follow your deductions otherwise. Sure. The victim's necklace was in the guest room under renovation. It seems to have fallen off in the struggle, but is that really the best assumption? I heard the deadly knife was in there too. The culprit killed the victim, and to delay discovery, they put her body into a trunk and took it to the storage room. But are these deductions accurate? According to Tsushida-san, the bloodstains were on the newspaper-covered floor. But if the bloodstains were on the newspaper there, couldn't the culprit have taken it away too? Guest room bloodstain. Mitsui Kazuko's case. It seems blood had stained newspapers on the floor. In that guest room, under renovation, the blood was interrupted at the wall. I'm in the middle of my deduction. I can't go elsewhere. I have to tell Uncle before moving to other points. Okay. About the guest room. The bloodstains on the floor, the knife, the necklace. Since they were all there, it does indicate the crime occurred there. But all this really happened. I also have to think about the place where the body was found. I see. So to the storage room then. Tsushida-san, about the storage room where the victim was found. Was there anything special about it? Well, there was then. Yes, the bloodstains on the wall. It seems there was some blood on the storage room wall, but it stopped at the floor. The storage room wall? Why there? The police thought it got there when the culprit moved the victim. I see, that's a possibility. That's a possibility? Really? It seems like a good idea to check the floor plan. Uh-huh. Investigate. The body was discovered inside the trunk. It's true, it's possible to carry a body in the trunk, but nobody witnessed such a thing. There was blood on the wall, but it stopped at the floor. The blood on the wall. If it's blood that got there when the trunk was moved, it would normally drop right to the floor, but... Mitsui Kazuko's case, it seems blood was found on the wall of the storage room. The blood was interrupted at the floor. So, Kindaichi, are you close to solving this mystery? Yeah, I get the main points. Oh, as expected. Alright, so tell me, how did the culprit carry the trunk with the body without having been seen? If they weren't seen carrying a trunk, doesn't it mean that no trunk was carried? What do you mean? So, let's make it clear first. Where Mitsui Kazuko-san was murdered. I think the victim was killed in... Map inspect. Point out the real place where the victim was killed on the floor map. Oh, the victim was killed in the storage room. The victim wasn't brought there after being killed? That's why the victim was put in the trunk, no? No, the body wasn't moved, but it's true that the culprit did move something. To know what that thing was, we look at. There are two bloodstains. Among the bloodstains found in the guest room and storage room. One was made by the culprit after the crime. The bloodstains made by the culprit is... Think about the bloodstains on the guest room floor. You heard it was on the newspapers, right? Here, right? In other words, they could have moved these newspapers. However, as for the blood on the storage room wall, these are impossible to move it. As opposed to newspapers, you can't move a wall. Didn't the storage blood get there when the body was moved? No, that's not it. If it got there in the move, it would have hit the floor too. It couldn't have just gotten in the... Besides, it seems the blood in there was interrupted by the floor. On the other hand, blood on the newspaper in the guest room seemed interrupted by the wall. In other words, these two bloodstains were originally one. So the culprit moved the newspapers with the bloodstains after the crime? That's not all. Among the things the culprit moved, there was more beyond just the bloodstains on the floor. Apart from the bloodstains on the floor, the culprit also moved No, not the painkiller. The victim's necklace. And another thing. The bloodstains on the floor, the necklace and the knife. The culprit moved these three things. From the rear scene, the storage room to the guest room. I see, since the body was in the trunk. We thought the body was moved, but it wasn't the trunk. These three items were moved, all to make the guest room appear to be the crime scene. The items found in the guest room were all transportable with ease. Just hiding them in their clothes would be enough to move them. No one in the grand hall would be any the wiser. Much easier than moving a trunk. Making it seem the trunk had been moved was just to lead the police astray. Now, Tsushido Fumiko-san, let's cross that with what you know. You should know the answers. You, a Twilight Island VIP who participated in the tragedy. You have two. That's enough, Uncle. I didn't solve that case because I wanted her to tell us the truth. My aim was something else. Your aim was something else? What else could it be? To set a trap that will ensnare the one who meddled with us here. A trap? Tsushida-san, thank you for everything you told us. You helped us a lot. Leave the rest to us. Fine. Uncle, we're leaving. Is that really okay? There's something I'm not convinced of. Kindaichi, is it really okay to not question her anymore? I'm not convinced. I don't need to get more from her. Okay. Move. So now, shall we go? Go where? Isn't it obvious? To the ambush, where we'll get the culprit. I don't understand. What ambush? Uncle, why do you think I asked about the wife's case? To find the culprit about to commit another crime here. The crime that happened in this mansion, it was a reproduction of one part of the tragedy 25 years ago. In other words, the other crime that occurred in here 25 years ago. The Mitsui Kazuko murder case. Will it be reproduced too? Exactly. And I already know who will be the target of the crime. If Mitsukawa Tsukikichi was killed as Mayor Mitsui, then the next person to die in place of Mitsui Kazuko is... Like Mitsukawa Tsukikichi, it's a VIP of Twilight Island. Tsushida Fumiko, she should be the next target. She was first locked in the annexed building. The culprit probably hid her there to wait for the right moment to kill her in place of Mitsui Kazuko. But we found her before they could go through with it. The culprit won't give up so easily. There they are dedicated to reproducing the tragedy 25 years ago. That person will surely come. Then, where do you plan to wait for them? Don't you get it? I have to wait at... the storage room. Of course, the storage room. Where Mitsui Kazuko was killed 25 years ago. Right there. The culprit who orchestrated this case. Kindaichi, don't tell me that you already figured it out. This case is mystery. This case is culprit. Yes, I've already seen through the mystery of this case. How the culprit committed a murder in a closed room. And the reason why the victim didn't unlock the door. As well as the culprit who could have committed the murder. I now have all the information and all the clues. The impossible crime that happened in this mansion. The explanation behind this mystery is... right before my eyes. The question mark on the menu has changed to "This mystery is solved." Upon selecting the new icon, the deduction will begin. If you still need information, continue investigating. The mystery is solved! Dum da da dum, dum da da dum, dum da da dum, dum dum. This mystery is solved. The next morning. Is someone there? Hello? Who's there? Who summoned me here so early in the morning? Yo. Forgive the wait. Tsushida Fumiko. You know, I've been waiting too. For 25 years. You are? Be ready, I'll make you regret all your sins from 25 years ago. You'll die here in Mitsui Kazuko's place. By the exact same method you used 25 years ago. Stop! Die! Hold it! As I thought, the culprit was you. Kindaichi, it's as you said. The culprit will go there. You! Why are you here? We've been waiting for you here since yesterday evening. We won't let you get away. So, let's finish this. Let's reveal your true self. I already have the complete image of the case. About flowchart. Fill in the flowchart to get the full picture of the case. Answer the questions for each space and complete the chart. Answers will be checked after all spaces are filled. You can also press the X button to check the details of keywords. Let's go in. What did we find in the hidden room instead of the mayor? Hä? Lol. Who is the butler in the Mitsui mansion? Shintaro. Who is the cook in the It's Yuru? And who is the housekeeper? It's Hisei. Who was found tied up with rope in a separate building? Fumiko. A Twilight Island VIP. Killed in the hidden room in place of Miya Mitsui. Sukikichi. Who contained the information used to control the islanders? What contained the information used to control the islanders? Islander's Binder. Who is the mastermind of this case? No, not Mitsuru. Miyuki. Mitsuru, I think. Mitsuru? Nope, it's wrong. Yes. 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 No. When looking for Maya Mitsui, what did we find in the hidden room? The one whose throat had been slit. Being the mastermind of this case, this person is reproducing the tragedy 25 years ago. No, not Miyuki. Hyuki? Hä? When looking for Maya Mitsui, what did we find in the hidden room? Maya Mitsui, the one whose throat has been slit. Courtyard appearance, Islander's Binder. Hä? When looking for Maya Mitsui, what did we find in the hidden room? The one whose throat had been slit. Weapon knife. Hä? I can't also click on the people slot. It's impossible. Hä? That doesn't make sense. Okay, that's annoying. That's wrong again. When looking for Maya Mitsui, what did we find in the hidden room? The one whose throat had been slit. This is the whole picture of the case. If you want to review the flowchart one more time, touch the info icon below. Finally, the culprit behind the murder in this mansion is you, right? Hyuki Ryuhei. The culprit. What are you talking about? Still feigning ignorance. Hey, that doesn't work anymore. Hyuki-san, let's step out of this room and talk. I've been waiting here since yesterday. It's gotten stuffy. What's the fuss out here? What's wrong? Did something happen? So, you're all here. That will make it easier for me. Just then, I was about to explain the case. How Yuki-san here conducted this crime. Interesting. I thought it might turn out this way one day. Do as you please. Let's enjoy the show. Ah, now it's going down. So, let us begin. First, the reason you just came to that storage room. The reason you came to that room was to kill Tsushida Fumiko-san. You were about to kill her. using the same method used to kill another woman 25 years ago. That other woman was Mitsui Kasuko, the wife of Mayor Mitsui, Mitsui Kasuko-san. You were about to kill Tsushida Fumiko with the exact same method, to reproduce the tragedy 25 years ago. No reaction, that doesn't help me at all. Anyway, that's the reason why you came to the storage room, to kill Tsushida Fumiko-san with the same method as before. I've already seen through this plan. After having killed Tsushida Fumiko-san, you were planning to put her body in something, right? That something was... the body would have been put in a trunk, suitcase. A trunk case. A trunk case. You wanted to cover your crime by putting the body in a trunk, all to make it seem the victim was brought from elsewhere. No idea. I was just innocently visiting the storage room. I don't accuse you of being the culprit just for that. That was merely the introduction. Let's talk about the crime that really happened. There's clear evidence that you killed Mayor Mitsui. My, how interesting mind sharing with the rest of the class. All this evidence you think you have. Sure, listen up. Let's begin by reviewing the crime. The crime happened in the third floor's hidden room. At first, we thought the victim was Mayor Mitsui, but that wasn't the case. The person murdered in that room was Mitsukawa Tsukikichi. Who was he? You may wonder. He was Twilight Island VIP. That's right, he was one of the Twilight Island VIPs. That was brought here after having mysteriously disappeared. Like me, Uncle Kimoji and Tsushida Fumiko-san. Do you have some proof that he came from another island? Yes, of course. The proof was in his pocket. That proof was... I found this in the pocket of the body in the hidden room. A detective badge, just like ours with a tiny transmitter. Just before Mitsukawa-san mysteriously disappeared, someone covertly put it in his pocket. Since we took it from the victim's pocket, doesn't that mean the victim is Mitsukawa Tsukikichi-san? And if you think that's not good enough proof, asking Tsushida-san who knew Mitsukawa-san will settle it. So what should we do, Hyuki? Damn, still no reaction. This overconfidence pisses me off. But I'll get through and break him down. Then let me keep going. The most important point in the hidden room murder is the very fact that it was a closed room. The door was locked by the victim. It was impossible to get in from the room's two windows. The lower is blocked by iron bars, while the others two high up. Even if someone made it up there, the window is still too small to let them through. So, under those circumstances, how did the culprit kill the victim? Didn't I already tell you, he committed suicide? No, that's not it. He was murdered. There's no mistake. After all, you murdered him. Then please explain to the crowd. How did I murder the victim? He's sweating! He starts to doubt himself. Let's begin with a review of the victim's actions. Actually, at the time the victim desperately tried to run away. But because of the bars on the lower window, he could not. What caught the victim's eye in that moment was the small window near the roof. It's indeed small, but he couldn't know without checking. The victim frantically checked it in his delirious state. He thought he may be able to escape from there. but outstretching his arms wasn't enough to reach it. That's when he noticed something, and thought there was a scaffold he could use. The proof was... the thing that the victim tried to use as a scaffold was... yes, the bookshelf. The victim tried to use the bookshelf as a scaffold. So to move the bookshelf, he did one thing, and that was... lots of books were scattered on the room floor, weren't they? The victim did that to lighten the bookshelf. A bookshelf full of books is too heavy to be moved. Try to remember. We heard a strange noise from beyond the door, did we not? Don't come in! Some noise is coming from inside. What is that? That sound was the books being thrown onto the floor. Keep going. Damn, this is rough. Then the victim moved the bookshelf under the window and used it as a scaffold to reach the window. But at that time, the culprit was on the other side, on the roof, who slit the victim's throat with a knife by pulling his head out the window. Then the victim fell from the bookshelf, making a violent sound. Ah! Huh? A scream? And a violent noise? What was that? What happened? What was it? It was the moment we realized something was going wrong. But we were already too late. When we unlocked and opened the door, the victim was already dead. In other words, the victim didn't sneak into the closed room, but instead murdered him by pulling his head from the window. Then the culprit threw the knife down into the room. Then just had to say it was a suicide to close the case. That was your plan, right, Hiyuki-san? What are you even saying? I'm disappointed seeing an esteemed grandson so ineffective. What do you mean? Didn't you say it yourself? At the time the victim was desperately trying to run away. All your deductions are based on that supposition. But what evidence proves he was trying to get away? Besides, why choose a high window for his escape? He could have just answered our calls and opened the door. He himself decided not to open the door. How do you intend to explain all of that? Oh, that's all you've got. Didn't I already explain that? What? Finally, a rise out of him. Alrighty, let's press him. The reason the victim didn't open the door, didn't what I just said explain that. It was because... What explains why he didn't open the door? The victim was not Mea Mitsui Kiyoshi but Mea Mitsui Kiyoshi, but Mitsukawa Tsukikichi. This is the most important fact explaining why. The victim didn't open the door. What do you mean? The people calling for the victim behind the door were you and the servants of this house, no? The victim had a good reason to not answer those calls. That reason is... Why didn't the victim answer the calls? Think about it. The victim was not the mayor, but Mitsukawa Tsukikichi-san. It's only natural he wouldn't know your and the servants' voices, no? After disappearing, he likely woke up in that room, only to see bars on the window and a riot outside. Waking up in an unknown place, seeing a riot outside. Mitsukawa-san was simply scared. Then unknown people started to knock on the door and call out, "Open the door and let us in." These calls certainly wouldn't have helped him relax. On the contrary, it added to his anxiety. hearing the calls of people knocking on the door. Mitsukawa-san must have thought like this. The people rioting outside are at the door. They'll kill me if I go out there, like that. Not opening the door was his first instinct. Fleeing was the next. That's when he saw the window near the roof. The culprit had planned all of that, and the victim behaved exactly like the culprit anticipated. But one person alone can't commit such a murder. To see it through, accomplices were needed. Hanuki-san. Yes! As ordered by Hyuki, without expressing any suspicion. You called for the person behind the door, right? What's the idea being locked up in here? We have to find a way to get him outside. The riot is only getting worse out there. Hanuki-san, help me call Mayor Mitsui out here. Yes, as you wish. Please get out here. Stop! Don't come! Besides, when all the servants saw the body, they all said that, without any mistake, it was Mayor Mitsui. Yet, the victim was not the mayor at all. This contradiction of reality, how can you explain it? Because... Hanuki-san started to panic when I pointed out the contradiction. But that's not over yet, there are other contradictions. The separate building where the Tsushida-san was found. This thing I found suspicious when I went to that separated house. Hanuki-san, are you really the butler of this mansion? Of course. Then please, tell me what you're doing in this mansion. I do some secretary work for the mayor and take care of him. And I'm also in charge of tending to the courtyard. What you've just said, there's an obvious lie amongst those words. And I already know what it is. Testimony inspect. What is the lie in what Hyuki-san said? I went to the courtyard and saw for myself. What I saw was that no one has tended to it in ages. That's because, as I thought, you're not a servant here. You just acted like one as ordered by Hyuki, right? That's... Well... Why not just be honest? Well, you had never seen the victim before. Not once in your lives. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. You are just acting as Hyuki instructed. Yes, exactly. You are admitting to it? What now, Hyuki? We are closing on you. Fool. We are so close. Let's put the nail in the coffin. You get it now. Why this room was sealed and how the culprit murdered the victim. In other words, the culprit was the person waiting for the victim on the roof. At that time, when the victim screamed in agony, you weren't with us then, were you? He's gone silent now, so... Let me help you remember. At that time, you insisted on doing something else. When we heard the victim scream, what Hyuki claimed to be doing was... getting the key. Yes, at that time he went alone to get the key. Apart from you, we were alright outside the hidden room. Thus, the only one who could have gotten to the roof was... you! You pretended to visit the mayor's room, but instead went to the roof. If everyone will recall, you told us you were going to find the key. It was then that we heard the sound of books falling inside. At that time, we got confirmation. Confirmation that the victim was acting just as you had planned. Don't come in! Some noise is coming from inside. What is that? Something's happened. Hanuki-san, where's the key to this room? This room is out of my jurisdiction. But the key may be in the master's room. The mayor's room. Got it. I'll go get it. Since you set this trap, you already knew the sound as the book's being removed. You used that noise as a signal to get to the roof. After murdering the victim exactly as you had planned, you came back to us, acting as if nothing had happened. You acted as if you just found the key, but you always had it. That's the truth behind this case. So Hiyuki, still have something to say? BAM! We got him. Hiyuki, it's over now. All your plans, they end here. This current case in place of the Mitsui couple. It's also a reproduction of the tragedy 25 years ago. You're linked to the other cases on this island too, right? No, not only are you linked to them, you're without doubt the mastermind behind it all. Tell me, what are you scheming on this island? What's your reason for repeating the tragedy 25 years ago? Why do you think I'm the mastermind? The reason I think you're the mastermind, it's because... What is the reason to think you here is the mastermind? I should show him here now, isn't it? I have to show the link between him and the islanders. This one? No, not this. Okay, wait a sec. Ah. This one. Perfect. I found this in the mayor's room. The mastermind behind the scheme on this island is the same person who brought the people in the binder here. That person needed a certain type of person. Those who would follow any and all orders along the way. That's why he gathered people deep in debt with no future. That master-slave bond, after it was set in stone. Whatever he said would be absolute, no dissent allowed. That included supporting criminal undertakings. Right, Hanuki-san, Kikuchi-san, Okano-san? That's... Hiyuki, this binder is yours, is it not? You used it to control these three people. No, not only them, but everyone on this island. To go so far, you go, what the hell is it? To have taken such a thing, you're really a sneaky thief. Who are you, and why did you... To reproduce the tragedy 25 years ago, you made Hanuki-san and the others act as servants, and set up this case that made the victim out to be the mayor. Now Hiyuki, tell us why. Ha 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 ha. You're the best at crafting such far-fetched stories. Far-fetched stories? Kindaichi, everything you've said is fantasy. Complete bullshit. Don't be absurd. Where's the problem? Since you can still talk, why not explain to us? Explain what part of Kindaichi's deduction is wrong. That won't be necessary. What? Because time is up. Time is up? What do you mean? Your little transmitter thing, feel free to use it. My plans will be finished soon. Even the police won't make it in time. Like I said, what are you saying? Let me tell you. The reason I invited you to this mansion. This is... Hiyuki pointed slowly to the main entrance. And then suddenly, a cry resonated as the door was violently burst open as if being blown away. Ah! Like a dam collapsed, the workers outside poured in. My body could only instinctively stiffen out of fear. Let's run, Kindaichi! Yeah! We ran desperately like never before and hid somewhere while waiting for the storm to calm. Person keyword has been updated. Hiyuki Ryohei. Person keyword has been updated. Hanuki Shintaru. Person keyword has been updated. Okano Jiru. Oh. Person keyword has been updated. Kikuchi Hisai. Was it that all? Seemingly. They don't seem to be here. Let's look elsewhere. They left. Hiyuki Ryohei. So it was really him. The mastermind manipulating them behind the scenes. Hiyuki invited us to this mansion so that he could have those miners get rid of us. After reproducing the tragedy by murdering those two VIPs. Shit! Like hell, we'd let him do that. Here I was thinking I'd finally cornered Hiyuki. I never expected it would be the one. I would be the one cornered in the end. This isn't the time to investigate this place. Okay, listen. Uncle, what's going on outside? It's still noisy. It would be dangerous to leave. I see. Uncle, what will we do now? First, we have to escape from here. I'm also worried about the detective boys still. Now that Hiyuki's resorted to violence, we should hurry. Alright, let's wait for our chance and run for it. No, I'll stay here. Huh? Kindaichi, what did you say? We finally have a chance to corner him. I don't want to waste it. Besides, I have a feeling that there are still clues in that mansion. Important clues for all these cases and the island itself. But Kindaichi, you're going to say it's dangerous, right? I'm aware of that. Really, in that case, I won't stop you, but you have to come back in the one piece. If you can't promise that, I'll drag you along with me. No worries, Uncle. I've got this. Alright, fine. It seems to be quieting down out there. I'm going now. I'll be going to save the detective boys. Okay, Kindaichi, take care. Yeah, you too. Alright, wait for me, detective brats. I don't get it. So now, I can't hide here forever. Yeah, what shall I do now is... speak to that person. The cook Okano Yoro-san gave me that vital information. I have to ask him about the woman who told him that he had to help us. He'll surely cooperate now. Okano-san is probably in the Grand Hall. I have to get there. Alright, guys and girls. In the next part, we talk to Okano-san and will deliver Hiyuki-san to the police at the final last point. But for now I say, see you in the next part video, whatever you call it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below in the comment section, ring the notification bell, and see ya, your Agent Nader. Bye!